na chugo oju e malabala ko e malabale malugo oje gadia de nke gana na gana na ebugo mwesi de nezoku nkonye na emenya badanye nugole ndi na balobolo so elubelu isi ndi na efele no elubelu isi nugo omoli meji bonya boku ina nugwale ina ronu mu na mwe wala belugole odudu golu gwego ne ramala mmanwu anya lo dike no popo kwankiriri mwe gwaba ga udala FM musimuke nunu mchanina keniwe ne kwenu mchebu 104.7 ina ronu mo ogwego na eluo majiba jani ke na mafuanyanya achokwa jinoni afona nkwo ebe na no boss na no nyaka mu na ekwe na ebubu ina nugwo numo udala FM na ekwe ndelunu njebu ndi omo kokoko ndi oma
Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic. Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
When politics unfolds, when decisions are made, we reveal the impact. Welcome to the Polity, your deep dive into the forces shaping governance, policies, and power. From the halls of government.
You were there. I was not there. Check the record. Wait now. You were there. I was not there.
To the voices of the people.
We are suffering. This suffering is too much. It's too much. Look at the students. There's no job. They finish school. There's no job for them.
We analyze the undercurrents, expose the intrigues, and break down the narratives that define our democracy. Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki delivering razor-sharp analysis, and Ebuka Franklin and Chisom on the question wheel, driving the conversation. We bring you the most compelling discussions on governance, policies, and power plays. Stay informed, stay engaged, stay ahead. The Polity, every weekdays at 9:15 a.m. Exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha.
Okay, so of course it's a cloudy and a cold morning here in the city of Onitsha, which happens to be the commercial nerve center of Anambra State and the home of Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Of course, with temperature at 24 degrees Celsius, one can say that the cloudiness and coldness is expected. However, that shouldn't deter you from pursuing whatever you have lined up for yourself today. Because for us here at Udala Radio, we have assembled once more on this very platform for us to further our conversations on governance, politics, and democracy. And I'm saying welcome to every one of you listening to this very morning. At this point in time, it's 9:18 a.m. from our studio time here. My name is Franklin Ebuka, and I bid you welcome to today's edition of The Polity on Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Don't forget that we are always live on our Facebook page for this very conversation. The video is already off. You can just go there, share the video, and at the same time drop your comment in respect to any of the things you find interesting by the time we begin our conversation today. So it's July 24, 2025, and the day holds so much for two most dominant political parties in Nigeria. I'm talking about the APC and the PDP. The two parties are having NEC meetings today in Abuja, and the two meetings will definitely have agenda on sorting out the party's leadership. For the PDP, it's been back and forth for a long time, but at the end of the day, they're going to have their 3-day NEC meeting where they're going to sort out a lot of things. And for APC, of course, that meeting yesterday, which was supposed to happen at the Buhari House in Abuja, but it's been shifted to Aso Rock. And people are asking, is it because the president wants to have a hand or have his eyes on what is going to happen today? Because somebody's name has been mentioned as the anointed candidate who can take over as the party's national chairman. Who is that very person? Maybe in the course of our show today, we're going to reveal that, or we are going to speculate. So we ask you to stay with us as we begin today's conversation on this very platform. Once more, my name is Franklin Ebuka. I'm not alone. Chisom Chinedu, good morning. She makes it.
Good morning, Franklin. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine. The only irony was that, I was complaining that the weather is too cold, and you came in here asking for cold stuff, and I was trying to make you understand that because we care so much about you, we won't like you to take that very cool thing this early morning. I hope you got that sank a lot.
Do you want a response?
Of course, that was why I mentioned it. What is that? What is it called in Igbo?
I don't know.
Osimi. That's what it's called.
This your care is not caring.
Okay.
Yes, it's not. If you're not going to grant my wish, let me alone.
Which is what?
You want me to say it?
Tell the world. Tell the world what you are craving this early morning. Tell the world so that we can prove further and know if there's any reason behind it.
Okay. Franklin, I believe you're equal to the task, so I trust you to handle it.
Okay. All right. So we also have Dr. Olisa Mbeki here in the studio. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Franklin. Ebuka. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, the good people of Southeast. Good morning, Indiana, Onitsha. Wherever you are listening to us from, remember it's always a pleasure to be here. We say good morning to God Almighty, the maker of heaven and earth. And we are back here again in our sanctuary to pontificate the truth.
So talking about the truth, maybe yesterday Ebuka spoke the truth to his supporters because he called them at his palatial home in Ekusi local government area where he hosted his campaign team, and I think Abga executive in Anambra South, and he doled that cash 100 million naira to say thank you for being by me and supporting me in the journey to win Abga ticket for the Anambra South senatorial by-election, which at the end of the day he didn't get. He stepped down for the man who came through the conclave. And before him, we also have had Akaye Gwong, promising 1 million naira to each of the members of his campaign team. So is it bazaar Christmas time for us now, for those who are in the corridors of politics?
And many of them, I think, have decided to appreciate especially the media team and those who are involved in their campaign team. Akai Egwonwu, who promised 1 million naira each for every member of that campaign team. And you have Ebuka Franklin, who now gave a catch of about 100 million to his campaign team. And it tells you a lot. We've not seen things like this before now. What we've seen could be a personal gifting, or someone who has done something, you may give the person a vehicle. And at times when these things are done is when the candidate or when the person becomes a candidate of a political party. But we are seeing these people, they are not candidates of the political party ABGA, but they have chosen to tow this path, which is surprising to many. And in doing so, they have backed the candidate of the party. I said something like this the other time, and some people said, does it mean that everything Abga does is perfect in the eyes of Tony? But I'm saying how perfect it is. And all of them are supporting the consensus candidate. Imagine a situation where there was no conclave and these people have used this money on delegates, and at the end of the day they could not get it. What you will have is litigations in different courts. And especially when you spend money on delegates and you didn't get the ticket, it usually tears the party apart. And that is what is presently rocking PDP after the 2023 general election, how they did their primaries. So you say bazaar. For me, I think it's appreciation. And just like I've always said, these people are billionaires. They are billionaires. heavyweights. And they have shown most political parties how to go about primaries. Yes, they had interest to become the candidate of the party, but conclave among themselves. Just as Pope is elected. Remember, those who go into conclave to elect Pope, they have the chance of also being elected Pope. They have the chance of being elected Pope, and they will vote for people or other candidates outside them, and the person with the highest ballot becomes the Pope. That's what I've adopted. And look at how that has panned out. How did it pan out? We are the candidate, the aspirants or the hopeful now giving millions to their campaign team members, saying thank you. Do you think they could have done that if they had spent heavily on delegates, where at the end of the day they didn't make it? They may not have remembered these members. Why they are remembering these campaign team members could be because of the conclave, where the money they are now giving to the campaign team members ought to have gone to the delegates, where they may end up not winning. So it is novel.
Right. So Chisom, device na ifenkita snifo je sonya fuku bono boya bono ganyo. So that might explain why you see many young persons all trooping into politics, because they know that, you know, these very people who have the wherewithal to go into politics,
if you could basically, Franklin, it's not sometimes because they have genuine interest in the change that is supposed to come through a democratic system run by these political parties. It's because, well, like you said, these people are money bags that have amassed wealth from all sources, waiting for the right opportunities to, you know, dole them out. And these other persons, more often than not, are just looking for stomach infrastructure to be funded, and anywhere we benefits.
Okay. So and yesterday, two events happened in Noka. There was one that happened at the International Conference Center, where the governor declared open the 44th International Scientific Conference of the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria. That conference is tagged IFADIGO 2025. At that very conference, you know, the governor came, you know, talked about the special facility being built for pharmacists at Oba, saying that by this time next year is going to be ready for them to begin to use that. And he also talked about, you know, the conference being held in Anambra State, how much it meant to him, and he made a promise that whatever money that the pharmacists paid for the use of ICC, that is going to be refunded to them, you know, in support of what they are doing. And then the accommodation for some of the guests, or government of Anambra State is going to also take care of that very one. And also that same time the same thing is happening, NBC had a workshop on political broadcast in Anambra State. You know, we are going to go into election, basically the Anambra gubernatorial election, which is going to come by November 8th, but you also have an election. And we know that these politicians are going to use the media. So NBC is saying that there is need for the media to go about carrying out its activities in the professional manner. Tony, the event at ICC before now cross of the NBC workshop.
I actually followed that event at ICC. I'm aware that, just like you pointed out earlier on, Ifadigo means light has come, symbolizing enlightenment across healthcare and beyond. So the conference, just like you mentioned, is something that the organizers, the 44th Annual International Scientific Conference of the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria, ACPN, they chose Anambra State for such conference, which is also noteworthy. And we know that they had a team, technology integration and personalized care. That's the team for the conference. The feature of community pharmacy practice. And I'm aware that the governor just made a frantic speech. And then even the chief host, pharmacist Tanko Ibrahim, who is the pharmaceutical PCN president, and even the ACPN national chairman, pharmacist Eze Ambrose Iwekama, they applauded the government of Anambra State